My name is Maggie, I'm 22 years old, and I'm about to graduate from university. I've always been quiet, focused, and hardworking. I never tried to stand out. I just studied, did my chores, and dreamed of a peaceful life. That might sound boring, but it gave me a sense of purpose. But behind that quiet life was a lot of pain I never talked about. At home, I was treated more like a maid than a daughter. My mom, Karen, used to be a beauty queen. She still acts like she's royalty. She loves expensive clothes, makeup, and all things luxury. She doesn't care much about anything else, including me. My older sister, Ashley, is just like her. She was once a model, but now she does nothing except boss me around, saying she's helping around the house. But really, I do all the work: cleaning, shopping, cooking, laundry. They just go out to salons and shopping malls while I scrub the floors. One day, as I was studying in my room, I heard my mom shout, "Maggie, come downstairs." I went down and found her and Ashley waiting. Ashley sneered at me, "You're still studying? School's almost over. What a nerd." Then Mom handed me a list of chores and said, "Do the laundry, wash the dishes, and go buy detergent. Don't forget to iron our clothes too." I didn't want to argue because I knew it would only make things worse. "Okay," I said quietly and got to work. I've always been treated this way, ever since I was little. They've favored Ashley because she's beautiful like Mom. I was the quiet, plain one, but I stayed quiet because, deep down, I still believed we were family. The one person who treated me differently was my dad, Harry. He was always kind to me. He traveled a lot for work, so I didn't get to see him often, but when he was home, he gave me all his love and attention. He believed in me. He'd always say, "Maggie, be righteous and kind." One day, while I was cleaning, my phone rang. It was Dad. "Hello, Dad," I said, my voice instantly brightening. "Oh Maggie, it's been a while. How are you?" "I'm doing great, Dad. How's work? Are you getting enough rest?" He chuckled, then said quietly, "I've been having some headaches. I'm planning to see a doctor soon." I felt a little worried, but I tried to stay positive. "Just take care of yourself, okay? I'm studying hard, thanks to you." "That's my girl," he said. "You've always been diligent. Don't forget what I always say. Be righteous and kind." I smiled. "Exactly. I'll bring you lots of sneer next time I'm home." I hung up the phone feeling warm. My dad wasn't just my father, he was my biggest supporter. He worked so hard and sacrificed so much, but Mom and Ashley only saw him as a money machine. They didn't care about him at all. Then one terrible day, everything changed. "Maggie," Mom barged into my room, pale and trembling. "Your dad collapsed at the airport. He's in the hospital." We rushed to the hospital. There, lying in a hospital bed, was my strong, cheerful father, now weak and unable to move. The doctor said he had a stroke. Even after treatment, he couldn't speak well or stand. He needed full-time care. Without hesitation, I decided to stay home and care for him. I put my dreams on hold. I did everything: feeding him, bathing him, talking to him, and decorating his room with flowers. But Mom and Ashley, they didn't help at all. They acted like Dad didn't exist. "Can't you help just once?" I begged them. "We're busy," they said coldly. Even worse, I once overheard them whispering in the hallway. "Thanks to Dad's insurance money, I bought that bag I wanted," Mom said. Ashley laughed. "I want a new wallet too. Maybe when Dad's gone, we can buy a luxury condo. My boyfriend could move in. I wish Dad would just hurry up and die." My heart nearly exploded. How could they say that about a man who gave everything for this family, who was still fighting to stay alive? I felt like I couldn't breathe, but I stayed silent, for Dad's sake. He couldn't speak clearly, but he could understand, and I didn't want to upset him. I just kept doing my best to make him happy. Visitors came often: friends, colleagues, people from his company. One older man with glasses came many times. I think he was someone important. He always greeted me kindly. Dad smiled more on days with visitors. He was loved by many. That made me proud. But then, several months later, he had another stroke. This time, he didn't survive. I clung to his body, crying my heart out. I had lost the only person who ever truly saw me. Even Mom and Ashley cried at the funeral, but I knew they were more upset about the inheritance than about losing him. They did nothing for the funeral. I planned everything, arranged the flowers, made the calls, and handled the guests. Despite my pain, I found comfort in how many people came to honor my father. So many shared kind words and memories of him. He had touched so many lives. That gave me strength. But after the funeral, things got worse. One day, while I was still mourning, Mom sneered, "We'll be selling this house soon and moving into a high-rise condo. You better start looking for a new place." Ashley stepped forward, "And don't think you're getting a penny of Dad's inheritance. We're having you sign it away." Her boyfriend stood nearby, laughing. I couldn't take it anymore. The betrayal, the cruelty, the greed. "I'm cutting ties with you all," I screamed. And just then, the doorbell rang. I opened it and saw a man I felt like I'd met before. And at that moment, I realized, maybe my story wasn't over yet, maybe it was just beginning. The days of mourning were slowly passing. It had been a week since Dad's funeral, and I was just starting to breathe again. The sadness didn't go away, but I could at least move around the house without breaking down. On the 7th day, I was cleaning the living room when my mom called me over. Ashley, my older sister, was already sitting there, and next to her was a man I'd never seen before. He was handsome, a little too flashy, and had a smug look on his face. My mom introduced him as Ashley's fiancé. His name was John, and I had heard rumors before, something about him being a former male stripper. From the way he carried himself, I could tell the rumors were probably true. Then my mom cleared her throat and looked at me with a strange smile. "So, about your father's inheritance," she said. My stomach dropped. I had a bad feeling, one of those feelings where your whole body knows something is wrong even before your mind catches up. She laughed in that mean, mocking way she always did when she had something cruel to say. "We're going to get a lot of money from your dad's inheritance, so we decided to sell the house and move into a luxury condo, so you'll have to leave." I froze. "Mom, it's only been a week since Dad passed away, and you're already talking about moving and spending his money?" She just shrugged. "We've already signed the contract. It's a brand new high-rise, beautiful view." "You've already signed? When did that happen?" "About a month ago." "A month ago? But Dad was still okay a month ago." She waved her hand like it didn't matter. "He was practically dying, and he had money. Things will be fine." I couldn't believe her. She was as selfish as ever. Then Ashley spoke up with that same cold tone. "Yes, the new place is for Mom, me, and John. You don't fit into our life anymore, Maddie. You should go find a small, cheap apartment or something." I stared at her in disbelief. "Even you, Ashley, are you seriously kicking me out?" "Of course, you're just in the way, and don't even think about Dad's money. We're going to make sure you give up your share. You understand, right?" Ashley stood up and glared at me. Her fiancé just chuckled like it was some kind of joke. The way they spoke so casually about the inheritance, while my father's scent was still in the air, it made me feel sick. "You're the worst," I said, my hands shaking. "I can't believe you. I'm cutting ties with both of you." They both burst into laughter. "That would actually be a relief," my mom said with a grin. Ashley nodded in agreement. I clenched my fists so tightly they started to hurt. I was on the verge of tears. That's when the doorbell rang. Trying to steady my breath and wipe my eyes, I walked over and opened the door. A man in a suit and glasses stood there, bowing deeply. "Good evening, my condolences for your loss," he said politely. I recognized him. He was someone who had visited my dad a few times during his illness. "Thank you," I said softly. "Please, come in." As I stepped aside, he handed me a business card. "My name is Watson. I'm an attorney who was assigned by your father." The card was real. He worked at a law firm. There was even a badge on his chest, a real lawyer. I was surprised, but I welcomed him in. My mom and Ashley followed me into the living room, clearly suspicious. "What does a lawyer want with us?" my mom said, narrowing her eyes. Watson stayed calm. "I'm here to talk about your husband's will. May I read it aloud?" My mother huffed. That man could barely move or talk at the end. "He left a will?" "Yes," Watson said, pulling out some papers. "Allow me to read it." He began to read in a calm, firm voice. "The testator, Harry, hereby bequeaths all property belonging to him to his second daughter, Maddie." For a moment, the room went completely silent. Ashley jumped up. What did you just say?" Watson repeated it clearly. "Harry leaves all property to his second daughter, Maddie." My mom and Ashley both shouted. What does that mean? I sat frozen, unable to speak. Watson continued, there's also a postscript. It's your father's final message. He looked at me gently and began to read again. Maddie, you gave up your dreams to take care of me. I was always busy with work and couldn't be there for you like I wanted, but I'm deeply grateful. Because of you, I passed away in peace. I couldn't hold back my tears. They flowed silently as he kept reading. Maddie, always be kind and correct. I know you will do well. I'll always be watching over you. Please, live happily. I sobbed quietly while Mom and Ashley began yelling again. What do you mean all the inheritance goes to her? What about our money? Watson stayed calm. You two were not mentioned in the will. Maddie is also the sole beneficiary of the life insurance. What? That's not fair, my mother shouted. Isn't there a law about the wife and kids getting something no matter what? Watson nodded. You're referring to the statutory share. Yes, you do have the right to claim that if you wish. Ashley and my mom seemed to calm down slightly, thinking they still had a chance. But then Watson looked straight at them and said, your husband knew how you lived. He asked us to look into it. We discovered that you were using his money for your own pleasures, buying a luxury condo, an expensive car, going to host clubs, traveling abroad. Meanwhile, Maddie was the one doing all the caregiving. They both went pale. On top of that, he continued, there were even comments made, hoping for Harry's death. That will not look good in court. My mom stumbled over her words. That's. I'll be representing Maddie if you decide to pursue this in court, Watson said firmly, but I'm telling you now, it's unlikely you'll get anything. There was nothing more to say. I walked Watson to the door. As he was leaving, he turned to me. Maddie, your father always spoke proudly of you. He loved you very much. Really? I asked, tears forming again. He said he was at peace because of you. You gave him comfort in his final days. Watson smiled kindly. Please live a good life. I'm always here if you need help. I bowed deeply as he left. A year later, with Watson's help, I inherited everything Dad left behind. As for my mom, she couldn't keep up with the payments on the condo. She lost the car, the designer bags, everything. She eventually declared bankruptcy. Ashley's fiancé left her the moment he found out she had no money coming. I heard from someone that she's living with Mom now and working part-time. They tried calling me for a while, but I always gave the same answer. I've cut ties with you. If you need anything, contact my lawyer. They eventually stopped calling. As for me, I used my inheritance to go back to school. I had once dreamed of becoming a prosecutor, but after working with Watson and seeing the kind of person he was, I changed my mind. Now I'm studying to become a lawyer, just like Watson, someone who is fair, kind, and strong. I want to help people the way he helped me. And I know, deep in my heart, that my dad would be proud.